Ugh. Okay, how is the audio sounding? Because that is the real kicker of if this will be good or not. Doesn't look like that live stream is stopped. Okay, none of those broadcasts are currently working. Oh, wait. Okay. Now. Okay, none of those broadcasts are currently working. Alright, sounds good to me. $30.9. Okay. Whoops. Okay. With the exception of those mistakes in 3x3, those by far the cleanest solution I've had all day. But like 3x3 solutions are just something that in competition I kind of have to sacrifice for. Like I have to sacrifice some inefficiency for just straight up look ahead. So. Why did you change the title? I don't know. I guess I was lazy typing it out. I suppose another reason why I do that is just because I don't have two broadcasts that are the exact same title. Because like if I get a stream highlight, I will go back to one of these like previous broadcasts. Ah, no. No. No! Shoot. Alright, where'd it go? Where did you go? I don't know. Where do you go? Oh, here you go. Okay. Lol pop. Yeah, that's why I need to reset this cube up. Is because like it's in the it's in that awkward phase where it's just like not fun to use, but at the same time it's still like functioning okay. But it's on its last legs for functioning okay at this point. Alright. Okay. Now, how do we fix you? Just kind of put it in there, I suppose. That worked. Okay, that's never happened that easily before. I thought I was gonna be sitting here for like the next 10 minutes and trying to explain to people why my cube sucked, but no. How often do you lube your 3x3? I'm gonna be honest, I lubed it once when I first set it up, and I haven't re-lubed it since. Only cleaned it. Okay. So, this deep perm, let's go. Wow, I cannot believe I remembered that. Alright, I'm just gonna reset this session because it's a new stream. And also, I just got a 207. I think I honestly might just be lazy and put some DNM in this. Or maybe some Mystic, I don't know. Interesting. Do you know for all LPL and advanced at 2L, the standard 41 algs? I don't learn them as algorithms, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, King Clogger? Hey, I'm finally catching a stream. Oh, what up, Grant? How's it going? Brother. I never know what to do in that case. I need to figure that out. Zebulus into... Not Zebula, because I got parity. I'm surprised I managed to get through that out. OMG, it's Grant. Hello? Yeah! If y'all are fans of Rowan 40, you've definitely heard of Grant before. He said that he's going to come to Utah Champ, so I'll actually get to meet him in person, so... I finished learning standard F2L. You can skip intuitive F2L and OLO and PLO, and then work on look ahead, turn speed, and inspection. All the finger tricks and algs are correct. Yeah, skipping intuitive F2L is not something I recommend though. Just because the baseline knowledge that you get from intuitive F2L is kind of like the building blocks that you use to support every other F2L case. So definitely don't just outright skip it. I'm bad. I am less bad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at more Utah comps moving forward, hopefully. Nice. Can't wait to see you run them. Because I tried to learn look ahead, but JPerm said I need to learn advanced F2L first. That's not necessarily true. However, it is far easier to get better at look ahead if you have all the good F2L pair solutions. Because he's also made another video in the past called Look Ahead is a Distraction. I highly recommend it. And it basically dives into every single type of nuanced reason why you shouldn't practice look ahead now. But mostly just because you still suck and you don't need look ahead to get faster. That's essentially what the synopsis of the video is. I forgot that that's the Yogg. I didn't know which ol I got. I was still sub 30? Okay, sub 30 should be free. I did get no parity, to be fair. Don't learn COLL, ZB, Winter Variation, and other outsets first. Yeah, dude, those are just add-ons. Whoops. The fact that the 3x3 stage was still any good is nuts. Like, I took a massive pause because I made a mistake, and then I proceeded to plan my next 3 pairs in one glance. That was, like, trippy. Sub 30 is intermediate, sub 15 is advanced. There's no such thing as intermediate Q or advanced Q, or it's just whatever you global, and, like, what your bad habits are, really. It's just, what method do you use, and then what bad habits do you have that apply to it? That's essentially all. The only reason why the top cubers are the top cubers is just because they have fewer bad habits than you. Streaming while national chance is crazy. The previous title, the broadcast before this one crashed, kind of explained it, but Nats is just boring. Also, my laptop says it's 1:19 a.m., which is just not correct at all. Everyone is on their own path to cubing. You can't really rate stages like that. No, like there is no stages. It's just one massive blend, and like this is purely just like the speed cubing progression in only 3x3. Like there's more to cubing than just speed and just 3x3. Like it's far more complex than that. I think you're intermediate based on where you at. There's no such thing as intermediate. That was really bad. There's not like level ups at specific points. Alright, this one's gonna be a sub 30. Trust. That was not the ZB at all. If I didn't fumble ZB, that was definitely sub 30 pace. What even was that, Alg? Okay, that clearly wasn't it. This is not the Alg that I got, but... Even my 0-3 progression is a good example of stages not really being super clear. I averaged high 13 globally before I learned full OLL. Everyone is just different strengths and different things to work on. 100%, yeah. OLL and PLL are both easy. There is no harder one. That's just straight up false. OLL is far harder to learn than PLL. And like it's not even just like it's harder, it's a quantity issue. There's just so many more OLLs than there are PLLs. That was really weird. Okay. I thought that was next to you, friend. Oh, just lose muscle memory. Bye, gotta go. Alright, see ya. It took me about a month to learn OLL and PLL. Yeah, but the thing is you didn't do those at the same time, did you? And also, your progression of learning is gonna be different than anyone else's. Because you're a different human, so... it's kind of hard to compare like learning capabilities from person to person because everyone's learning capabilities, like strengths and weaknesses, are going to be different. Yeah, you can draw parallels, but like there's no such thing as like an identical learner. Whoops. Sure. That was definitely a sketchy timer stop. I don't care. I just need the dots in awkward shape cases, but I'm waiting until I can consistently do the L shapes. That's definitely a strategy for doing it. Also, I would just straight up not learn the dot cases because doing partial edge orientation is like beyond easier. Like, you'll see it in the majority of top solvers, they very rarely get a dot case. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Matty himself claims that he doesn't know any of the dot cases just because he does partial EO every time. Oh my gosh, no. Not again, bro. That's a rip. Okay, I definitely need to figure this out. Because if I keep getting inch pops like this is not going to be good for the future. Also, corner came out? Hello? Okay. And please go in as easily as you did the previous time. You did not. Okay, shoot. That also makes sense. It's hard to compare progress. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. Dude, why does this have to be like a humanly impossible task? I swear. Yeah, there's no putting them in at the same time. It has to be one and then the other. Ah! Hallelujah. Okay, where was I? What? Oh, right. Because the corner also came out somehow. 330. That's like 10 times slower than my PR. How would you rate your experience at RMC? Like not just results, but the whole thing altogether. Like if my favorite competition of all time is a 10 out of 10, then this competition was probably, not gonna lie, probably like a 6. Maybe a 7, but I'm leaning towards 6. There were some like minute reasons why like my experience at the competition wasn't great. I came home with 15 bug bites, and it was like 80 degrees in October. Besides that, results were pretty good, but yeah. I got my first official sub 10 single and sub 12 average at RMC. Nice. And I PV'd while waiting for 3v3 to start. That's like surprisingly common. Like I think at that competition itself, I got like a 6x6 PV single before my round. Got a caper. I think that's Caper. I don't know what else it would be. Reminds me of my very first combat. I all-time PB'd in 3x3 in the official solve by like 2 seconds. It was a 16.889. Dang, you remember the thousandth digit? Where? Oh, it was already in there. Great. Beeper. 2 comps ago, I got a 4x4 PB single and still haven't beaten it. I got 0.1 away at RMC. I touched the cube, so it was a +2. Bro, why would you touch the cube? Like, unless there's like a radioactive isotope next to you, that's the last thing that you want to be touching after you finish the solve. Where is anything? Deeper. It was falling into my lap and I caught it. No. You just have to do one of these. Just fling the chair behind you, like kill a 2-year-old child behind you so that you don't get the +2. I'm kidding, don't do that. Also, a 2-year-old child should not be back there in the first place. What were they doing? And then my first combat was told that the cube falling was a DNF, bro. It's entirely I've had this happen before where the cube fell on my lap, but since the judge verified that the cube was solved before like it fell into my lap, and I didn't influence the cube at all, it just landed on my lap and then tumbled onto the floor, it counted as just a plain solve. Like there wasn't a penalty or anything. Bad pee. Oh, the Luke Garrett OH world record strat? Nah. He didn't create that strat. He merely popularized it in the new generation's eyes. That was a bad S-firm. You may laugh now. If anyone recognized what ZBLO I just did, then you get a cookie. It's a pretty famous ZBLO. I just didn't want to get another Diag with PLL parody, because Diag with PLL parody Algs are by far the worst. Oh my gosh, why are dogs barking? Hold on. I'm gonna figure out why dogs are barking. I'll be right back. It was just the male person. Anyway, back to 4. Yeah, I don't like that K-term. That's probably my second least favorite PL after Q, just because Q is so dumb. Like, Q consists of, like, 1 different grip, 2 different grips, 3 different grips. You have to go from home to M to back to home. Versus no other algorithm is like that. It either starts out on home or starts out on a weird grip, but then it like stays in that grip the entire time. I think I'm gonna switch events now. I'm just gonna do some OH. You know, Rocky Mountain Champion. I should be doing OH. Yeah. That's a common mistake for me, and I don't know how to fix it. Like I try to do an F prime, or like an I think it might just be, I don't know what exactly it is. Just like one time when I tried to do an F move that solved, I ended up doing an S, like that, and I had to like undo it in a weird way. Oh, it's just something I've always meant to actually practice, but I've never gotten around to it, so I don't know any good techniques. Yeah, fair. OH is one of those events where it's easy to get into, it's hard to master. Did you see you got a 1035 OH PB? That's your PB? I thought it was just another good average. corner is just going to be in a really awkward spot, so I think I might just forego that being my first pair. Yeah, that was a much better choice. Much better choice, and the edge was still there. And also edges were oriented, but I didn't track that. That was just luck. I got quite a few sub 10. I got quite a few 10 averages, but getting sub 10.49 was a real struggle over the last 4 months. Hopefully I'll get sub 10 soon. Likely, if you just keep it up. I guess. Ugh. No! It's my first OHLs of the day. Cut me a break. Opinions on Minecraft? It's a game that definitely belongs in my childhood. Like, I loved playing Minecraft, but I don't see myself playing it now. Unless I had, like, a real reason to with, like, a bunch of friends or whatnot. Okay, what is happening? You know, I want to be smart with this. Let's go. I just had a gajillion pieces already solved. What's your OHP average of 5? I think it's 9.7. But I have a bunch of other sub 10s. I have a trend with my at-home personal bests, like, being ridiculously close to each other. Can you please reset? Jeez, holy crap. Yeah, because, like, for comparison, my 3x3 personal best is, I believe, 6.88, but I have, like, 20-something sub 7s. So you'd expect at least one of them to be, like, 6.6 or something nuts like that, but no. What? I suppose so, yeah. How is my VPA average 12 anywhere close to sub 13? I suppose I do need to get a 10 or something. Nope, that didn't work. Seriously, again? Why are you making these products that, if I do the thing that they're advertised to do, they don't work? I'm surprised that ZV actually worked. My PV has been 8.3 for about 5 months. Cubing every day, can't beat it. Then I get 8.33. Just the cube laughing in my face. Well, I mean, if you can't get close for 5 months and then you get 8.3, like 8.3 is still good average then. Single, and I've gotten Nescently? Recently. Okay. I got recently close with an 8.3 last month. Okay. So you've proven that you can get times that fast. You know. This is not ideal. Ugh. I definitely made a bunch of mistakes in Net2L. No! Damn it. Yeah, it would have been 3 counting 10s if I didn't do that. Hold on. Yeah, 1086 average without +2. Shit. Oops. Decently? Oh, I thought it meant recently. I don't want to... Actually, wait, that'll just straight up preserve the pair. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. typos happen. This is an interesting scramble. Somehow with that on white, it's actually bad. Okay. F-Perm, my beloved. F-Perm is like my fastest TPS PLL by far for some reason. I have it in an official 8. I see that YouTube updated and changed how live chat works, which is bothering me. I have no idea what you mean. It seems completely fine for me. It's just smooth and flows well? What does? I didn't know which G-Perm it was, so I had to recognize that wasted a bit of time. Okay. One time I actually became a legend in my band class because I did 3 blind and actually succeeded. Holy cannoli, bro. You can solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded? Dude. I have a couple options. I can do that and actually get a really stupid Rube first block. Wait, actually? I don't think that was worth it, actually, now looking back at it. Definitely not. Alright, I'll stay away from that fancy shenanigans with one-handed just because it's so slow. I can't do all those D finger tricks fast enough. Some alien out there can probably do that solution faster than I can blink. See ya. Oh yes, the PLO that got me Rocky Mountain champion. Freaking V-Perm of all things. Blind is one thing I can't seem to learn. Probably just because you sleep like once a week, Finn. That could be why. No, that is why. What? I did an R2 prime instead of R2 at the start of the G prime, and it just threw off my muscle memory for the algorithm. Because my hand was in a different position, so I had to like reorient my hand in a way where the finger trigger actually made sense. I'm surprised I remembered that out. I forgot it last night, and I had to relearn it. Wow. Bro, your turning is so good. I beg to differ. It's my solutions that are good. It's not my turning. For the P shape, F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime into T is the best way to handle it. Which case? This case? You just do that into TZB? I'm not doing that. Don't frick that. How do your fingers not turn to jello in competition? The short answer is that they do. I've just learned how to handle it. Oops. I guess that's ZBLS, I think. That was really bad, but I oriented my edges. I did what I wanted to. It's just not the way I had planned. I'm confused about there being two Anthonys. Yeah, both of them are like abbreviated to Anthony J too. That's the worst. Who's your number one cubing idol? I mean, if you know what year I started cubing, it's quite obvious that's Felix Zemdegs. Wow, that was clean. What was your first speed cube? I remember getting it at an arcade. That's the funny thing. Because I had this weird obsession with arcades back then, and I saw this Rubik's Cube by this brand called Duncan. for like 460 tickets. And I remember playing this one game trying to get 460 tickets for that cube. It's some like weird dollar store like white plastic cube. I don't know. I don't know how much you care, but I could send you my EO to ZB sheet. I'm not doing that in competition, bro. You can do that in competition if it works for you all you want. I am not doing that. Duncan is peak nostalgia. Okay, so people know what I'm talking about. I think the thing that most people do that causes a lot of nerves, and this is something that I have no source of besides myself, is changing your method on how you like approach some cases, not all the cases, but some cases in a particular way. It causes a lot more like a tendency to be like hesitant towards things. So like what you're explaining here, EO to ZB, I would never dare to try that in competition. If I get an awkward shape OLL and I've executed the awkward shape OLL at like 10,000 times at home, but only in like the past month or 2 months, or even within the past year, I start doing EO to ZB on that one, in competition, I would be so scared to do EO to ZB that I would just blank right there and like make a decision. And that already lost me like an entire second, and I still have an awkward shape OLL to deal with. So it's not something that I'm comfortable doing, especially in competition. How was that a 9? My first one was the Moyu Along V2 right when they came out way back. Yeah, I only have an Along V1. I want to get an Along V2 specifically because I've heard lots of good stuff about the cube. Okay. The piece is going to be flipped. Nah, that's a rip. 1166 average still, even with that counting 13. Yeah, that's completely fair. It depends on your solving style for sure. I don't even think it depends on your solving style. It just depends on what you're comfortable with doing in comp. Because like if you're comfortable doing EO to ZB in competition, good. You can only do that now. Like if you revert to any other thing, then you have to make that decision in your mind and you lose time. I think that Juju and I tend to go spammy in ergonomic solutions, and EO to ZB helps with like reinforcing ergonomic cases. I suppose so, yeah, but like if you're here's the thing that I don't like with that style is you have the tendency to like rely on your turning, which is something that changes from day to day. Your solutions, if you really lock them in your mind, are consistent throughout the entire day. And if your turning is the thing that's throwing you off, then like there's nothing that you can work on until your next competition. Versus if I go for my solutions and have my turning be consistent, then I know exactly what I'm looking for to change once I watch back the videos from the comp. And watching the videos back from my previous competition, I definitely know what I need to do, and it's to stop doing like these awkward R wide moves to insert pairs into the back and just finally just start rotating to this angle. It's just this angle is inconsistent, I mean. I should be able to dig out the Along V2 out of a box somewhere, bring it to Utah Champs. Please, I'd love to try it. And I think your solving style is just as good in different ways. Yeah, but mine definitely caters towards competitions more, if that makes some sense. You're so right, lol. Good insight. I haven't thought much about that. Thanks, lol. Yeah, it's mostly just because like I've like really deeply dived into my philosophy when it comes to competing, and that's definitely helped me out with competition nerves in the past, and it still does now. I mean, look what happened at Rockies. My previous personal record going into that competition was 11.6, and then my mean of 3 rounds was 11.6, just because I made one difference in my mindset going into that comp. That was a rip. I did do 1 ZB in competition, though, and I am proud of it. Oh my god. Bro, you need to try the scramble, yo. I planned cross plus 2 in like 4 seconds. That's free. That's free. I don't think that was the... Yeah, that's definitely not the solution I did. That was pretty much the same with me. Went into the PO with a 12.8 and then got a 12.7 mean of 3 rounds after changing my mindset too. Scramble too small? Oh, shit, right. Hold on. Yo, Anthony and Anthony. Try out the scramble. I'll hold it here for like another 5-ish seconds and I'll put it back. If you want, you guys can just pause and try it out. But it's a really easy cross plus 2 into, unfortunately, diag slots. But if you have a cross plus 2 that good, like you take the diag slot any day. Oh, bro, it cancels. It cancels in last layer. Alright, so what is this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 move F2L into, what is that? Like a 7 move OLL, and then it can cancel into apron, so yeah. That's a 35 move solution. 27 to 3C. Also, another thing that it comes to that mindset specifically isn't exactly like, yes, the averages are better than anything I've done in competition, but they're nowhere near my potential. Because like I can get sub 10 in competition. Like I'm confident in saying I'm capable of getting sub 10 in competition because I can get sub 10 at home. The difference is that this was not like a competition where I'm trying to go for a personal record. This was a competition where I was trying to win. Like my goal going into the competition was I want to win, not I want to get a PR. The PR that I did get, it was small, it was negligible, 100%, yes, I agree, but that wasn't my objective going into the competition. I'm very happy that it happened, but my objective was to win. So my mindset was set on winning, not on getting the personal record. So if you have your mindset on setting like the personal record, obviously you are going to have to cater towards more risky strategies, just because like if you do riskier strategies, then you have a chance of getting something good. Versus what I was doing in that competition, I basically had no chance of getting like a sub 10 average. But I did have a very high chance of winning, which I thankfully did. I messed up really badly, but I was able to salvage something out of it. Okay, what are you? That is not at all what the alg is. I'm gonna go for a bit. I'll be back later. Yeah. That's a super easy scrim. I didn't time it since I'm not warmed up. Yeah. I tend to just, in competition, naturally cater towards consistency, though. But like with the methods that I'm currently using, there is definitely enough leniency where if I just get like enough luck in specific areas, then like sub 10 is definitely like within reason. I definitely want to set a future goal of getting top 100 though, because top 100 right now is 10.3. That's interesting, Lol, because my mindset has always been to PR because at regionals I wanted to win, and that cooked my mindset, and it ended up getting 6th. Yeah, if your objective is to win a regional championship, but the bar for getting your regional championship win is like higher than anything you've achieved previously, it's not a realistic goal, and it sucks that you have to admit that every once in a while. But like, also your region is far more competitive than mine. So like it's okay to admit that yes, these people are better than me. I'm just going to try my best in this final, and whatever happens, I'm going to walk out of this final knowing that I did my best. That's essentially what I went into Rockies feeling like. Like the only difference between that and yours is the fact that I actually had a chance to win my regional, just because I live in a less populated area. What are you? Let's see. Can I work you out? I cannot. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that up later. I changed my mindset from chasing PR to making finals at RMC, and that worked super well. And while putting focus into Big Qs took my mind off OH. Yeah, Big Qs is one of those events where it's very nice to take a break and just do a 6x6 solve, just because 6x6 is super fun. Damn, okay, I guess I just don't know it. Let me go to you would, okay, this is this what are you? That's definitely not it. Okay, so F. That's not it at all. Why can I not set the stupid out? F prime R U R2 D R U R prime D prime R U2 R prime F R. Okay, so here it is. F U R U2. This. Can it not let me just like scroll down on this? Because like I want to just like none this one. I mean that's true, but the caveat is that I was averaging 10.5 globally at that point, and Jerry and Parker had 10.3 and 10.5 PR, so I was confident I could win. Okay. What's the best way to approach it? You global 10.5? Okay. There's a difference between globaling 10.5 at home and globaling 10.5 in comp. And you are very aware of this difference. Like, it's a massive difference. Also, why can I not? Oh, okay, just clicks for me. Alright, now that I have that ZBL out of the way. I knew going in I need luck to win, to beat Jerry, and I knew I could beat Parker because we global like almost the same at home. Yeah, relying on luck for like securing a win at a regionals is not the play. Because, like, if you look at my solves from my recent regional final, like, some of my last layers, especially in, like, the first round, the final round, were ass. Like, on the last solve of my Rocky Mountain Championship finals, I needed 11.7, and I got to Pila, like, 9.7, but I had a V-perm, which is really easy to mess up. And I think on the first solve of the final round, I had, like, awkward shape E-perm or something bad like that, and I got 12.1. Which, for your standards, 12.1 on a case like that is just like, why couldn't I just get a better last layer? But also at the same time, like, getting a 12.1 on a last layer like that in a regional championship final is no easy task. Oh, I should do 6 practice right now? 100%. Go do it. 6x6 is fun. I think I need some sort of mindset change, though, for sure, because there has been a reason that my turning is super clean at home, but, like, looks like crap in comp. Yeah, I would definitely like take your turning down an octave in competition because like relying on blazing fast TPS and just like not really caring about your solution, but like just heavily relying on turn speed is not a recipe for success. Unless you're a Chinese kid, but whatever. I'm not gonna lie, your turning looked amazing during all the souls at Rockies. Exactly. Because I what's the best way to phrase this? The short answer is because I've practiced like the conditions of like getting bad cases in a regional championship. Like here's what I did at home. At home, if I get like a really unlucky last layer and I get like a 15, I still enter in the time for a comp sim. And I still treat it as I can work with a 15. Like all I need is a 15 and then 2 more decent times and I'll get like a mid 13 average, which should hopefully podium. Obviously in retrospect mid 13 had no chance of podiuming. But mid 13 for me, like getting that in a regional final is by far better than anything I've ever done because in the last regional final I got like a high 14 average or something. It was not good. Cuz like turning in those solves, the turning definitely helped. Like it was by far like one of my saving graces in that. But the solutions, like I didn't get psyched out by solutions, if that makes any sense. What did I just do? See, like I didn't do this in the competition. Because like this one, I was just talking to you guys. I didn't expect much, so I was just hoping that my turning would carry me through the solve, and then I mess up cross. Like I know that my turning in competition isn't as good as it is at home, and like that's just gonna be true no matter what event it is, no matter who it is. So if I can compensate for that with my solutions, then I can still get good times even if my turning is lackluster. But thankfully, my turning wasn't lackluster because of nerve control practice that I had done for the weeks leading up to the competition. So here's something that I think that you could do, specifically Anthony Zhang. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like for me, when I solve in comp, I kind of give up after a bad solve and like my solutions go to crap. Yeah, you can't do that. That's just unacceptable. Like you need to try on every single solve because you never know what's going to happen. Like think about it. At the start of the average in Rockies, I had a 12.1 and then got a 12.4. Like that's accounting 12. I know Jeremy has a 10.0 personal record average. If I got that into my head, I would have just not tried on the next few solves and I would have not gotten 11.3, 11.0, 11.4. Like if I got that in my head, then I would have never like even considered the prospect of winning. So you need to understand that like the bad solves are going to be part of the process. I mean, if I took a look at my last year's, it's like, well, I can actually just look this up. I don't need to do hyperbole. I can just find it. Results OH2 Rocky Mountain Championships 20.4. Yeah, it started out with a 13 and a 16. So at that point, my PR average was 13.4. and I had a counting 13-0, and I knew that 13-0 wasn't enough to win. I needed like 12.5 back then to win. So I kind of just gave up and relied on turning, and then proceeded to get 14-0, 14-4, 14-5. Like, that sucks. You don't want that. And like, let's take a look at what is this? North American Champs. I started out with a 16. Like, that's not good. So after that competition, I had a refresher in my mindset about what was happening, and then I got a 13-4, 11-6, and then a 14-2. And so at that point, I have a counting 14-2 and 13-4, and my personal record average is 13-4 already. So I needed like a decent 12 on the final solve, but I could have just as easily given up, thinking, I have a 14 and a 16. Like, this is just not good. So I actually locked in my solution for the final solve, and thankfully I did get a decently lucky last layer with T-Perp, and I got a 12.4, barely getting a PR average. And like, that already said to me, okay, if I can do this on a bad average, what's stopping me from doing this on a good average? 3 rounds later, 12.4, PR by a whole second. You need to have the confidence in, even if you start out with a bad solve, you can still salvage it. Your confidence going into comms is so inspiring. Like, I am so envious of your mindset going into competitions. It's more so like I'm willing to accept failure as an outcome, because I have to. Like, I have no other choice. I'm not perfect. Like, look at all of these averages in between. Like, here's a big one. 14.53. At the time, I globaled about 14 seconds. So I have a 14.5 average. This was my first state record. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 averages were all not sub 15. And at the time, I started globaling like high 13. So like, this was just unacceptable to me. And then like, finally, after breaking this mental barrier, I then kind of realized that, wait a minute, why was this a mental barrier in the first place? This average had 2 counting 14s. Like, that's we can fix that for sure. And then a couple rounds later, I get 13-4, but that started out with a 17 somehow. I think it was a 15 plus 2, but besides the point. Oops. What is happening? Like, let's do a simulation right now. I just got a 15. That 15 sucks. I can still work with it. Ready. Okay. That's a decent start, but I've gotten several 10s before. This is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new. So I'm just going to go into it knowing that this is just another solve. Just go into it, try my best. Okay. I'm ready. Okay. 9.9. Sub 10s are decently rare, but now I know that's going to be my best solve. I have not gotten a counting 9 in competition yet. So, Maddie got quite a few lockups out of sub 5 average, getting 5.2 and 4.9 BPA if he counted a 437. Oh yeah, didn't he plus 2 out of it? Or am I thinking the wrong thing? Man, go watch All Stars at 303 right now? Nah. I'm doing my OH average, man. I can't care about them. Why would I care about them? I'm only care about myself. Like, it's a factor I can't control. What happens there, I can't control that. I can only control myself. Ready. Okay. The execution on that solve was not good. It was not good at all. But, like I said, why would I care about the execution of that solve? That solve is in the past now. I don't care about that. I go into this solve, try my best. Ready. Boom. 1138 average. And that's how it's done. Sure, execution on one of the counting solves was so bad. It had a cube drop. Sure, that 12 could have been way better. It could have been a 10. I don't care. I did my best, given the circumstances. And look at that, 11.3. It's all mindset. It's nothing about like the quality of the solve or the quality of the solution. All of it is mindset. Like you need to get the times at home and then have the mindset to do it in comp. Like that's the recipe for success. That's why Timon is such a good cuber. Like Kevin Hayes pointed it out, like in his recent 4x4 woodwork average, one of his counting times had a 1 second pause in it because he couldn't find the edge. Everyone else on the goddamn planet would have been spamming turns, not caring about the solution, just to get that next edge piece solved. Because the next edge piece solved is closer to the solved cube. But he knew that if I pause here and I get this edge solved, I don't care about spamming turns because I know that's not a recipe for success. What I'm doing is a recipe for success, and I'm going to stick to my method. And he stuck to his method, and then boom, world record. Do you always take each solve at a time? Like I calc what I need before solves 4 and 5. Never, ever, 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 ever calculate. Do not do it. You're going to figure out the result after the round. You will figure it out. It's not like some secret thing that you need to know at this point in time. It's going to be knowledge. It's going to be public. And you're going to know exactly the times that you get in succession and what the average is after the round. You don't need to care about it in the round. You'll find out after. Which is why I can't look at Jeremy's times when I'm sitting next to him in Rocky Mountain's final. I had no idea that he started out with a 14 and a 12. I had no idea he had got a counting 10.1 on his final solve. If I knew any of that, it would have gone in my head. That's why I like the hat technique so much. I saw Volodymyr Kupusiansi doing it at NAC, where you just cover the hat over your eyes so that the only thing in your world right now is the judge, you, and the cube. That's all that matters. Because that's all you can control. Like, you can control the judge because you can communicate to him, and, like, your judge should be doing a good job in the first place. You can rely on your judge, and your judge will do exactly what you want him to do, which is write down the time on the timer and sign the scorecard. And then all that's left is just you and the cube. That's it. No amount of outside factors should ever get into your head at that point. I used to calc my average before I got them to, but in my RNC finals I didn't because I had a counting 14 and most likely wouldn't have gone BPA, clutch third, if I knew I needed BPA. Exactly. You can't be sitting there and calculate hypotheticals as you're trying to prepare for your next solve. That's your time to prepare. That's not your time to worry about what time you need. I'm just spamming turds now. I'm having all this motivational talk, all this inspiration, and then I'm over here just spamming turns talking mid-solve. Like, look what happens. Look what happens. You just get bad. I swear to God, if one of you guys say it in the chat, I'm gonna ban you. What? Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, that's PB by quite a bit as well. See, this is what happens sometimes. Like, you get into your own mindset, and then the luck just kind of lines up. Yeah, but it was definitely a valid solution, though. Like, take a look at this. So I have this block here. All right, and I want to insert this red cross piece, and doing that will also put this over here. So I can do that while inserting this orange cross piece as well to get this square here. And then I don't care about this, just because I didn't plan that. And then I can just do that to solve the rest of it. And then this pair is easy to track. So I got that. And then it was just kind of a, what is that? Like 2-gen everything else? Only 0.2 away from a PB now? I don't care. I got a 6 on one-handed. I am happy with that. Like I said, it's just me and the cube, and the cube worked with me that time. Also, look at this average. 9, 9, 11, 3, 12, 2 counting, and then 15, 6. You're insane, Law. Thank you. Alright. I don't know what I realistically can salvage with just a good single, because it's not like a good counting term or anything, so I'll just try to see if I can manage something. Anti-OLCP, let's go. What? Okay. That was just me misrecognizing cross. That was just bad. Average bad solve after good one? No, average good solve after bad one. Like, that 12.8 still wasn't even a bad time. I just made a couple mistakes. Like, the solve wasn't bad. It was just not good. Also, I'm yapping again. I knew it was going to be hard to salvage something with a 6, but yeah, either way. I will copy that and then post it in the hello Discord Halloween thing. I will post it on the Rockies channel. Boom. On stream again. There we go. Alright, well, it's 1:40 something. I need to eat lunch soon, so. Next time I get, I don't know what time. What time should I go for before I end stream? Get a sub 10 and then dip. Why did YouTube flag that message? There's nothing wrong with this message. I don't get it. Get a sub 10 and then dip. Okay. Sub 10 will require a decent amount of luck, so I just need to give it enough good attempts. Wow, I've been tracking that orange-blue pair the entire time, and I did it 4th. I felt so cool. Meanwhile, I'm yapping through an A-perb. Man, I am not trying. I really am not trying, geez. Okay. Let's actually try on this solve. I could have done EO to ZB there. And it probably would have given me a nice case just because I got a die PLO. But I don't know if that works. I know that mine does. You would have gone an 11 mover, I think? Yeah, who cares? Have you tried this Viper? Viper? What Viper? I don't know. I don't like the F wide. Like, even just then, I already messed up F wide. I can't do that. That one is just 4 moves into 2-gen spam, and 2-gen's very reliable. I'll definitely have to do some more tinkering around with that Elg in particular, but I don't really like it. I might not. I might be lazy. Speaking of which. I'm quicker with it, even though being slow with wide F. Yeah, it might be a short up. I didn't count the moves. Okay, I kind of went all risky with that G term because I knew I wanted sub 10. And I paid the price. I wanted to. That's the real reason. I just wanted to. In comp, I would never, but I wanted to. Does anyone have a better alg for that that doesn't involve a really weird S move? I can't find one. It's definitely my least consistent alg. At this rate. Are you serious? Okay, R, U2, R prime, U prime, F prime, U. Wow. I feel silly now. Alright, thanks, Anthony. I will definitely use that alg in the future. That was a cool solution. Whoops. 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 I have an old sheet. Give me a sec. I don't know if I want to change too many of my algs now. I just wanted to change that one because it's noticeably bad. I don't think a sub 10 is realistic now, just because I'm not caring enough. So I'll do sub 11, just because I can get those without really trying that hard. Also, what? Can I? Oh, if this works, I'm so smart. Okay, it did work. Oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. Okay. I know what I did wrong, though. Yeah, I only wanted to try it just because I saw it as a possibility, and I just didn't think about what I would actually do, which is definitely not that. This is what I do every single time. I evaluate why that solve was bad. Oops. I cannot believe that was still 12. Y'all ever seen an M2 and an X cross? Ah, finally. Dude, I messed up like 4 aprons before that one, and I was like, this is the one I need to do right. And I did it freaking right. If I had a streak of bad aprons like that in competition, and I know that this is the one I need to do right, then I'm going to do it right. Which is actually how I got my best sub in that 12.4, as I mentioned beforehand. This 1050 was with an apron. I remember it so well because I was like, wow, that was good execution. Learn RUF aprons maybe? I don't know. How do RUF aprons go? I look forward to meeting you in a few weeks. I do too, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna see what these aprons are from Anthony, and then I'm gonna end stream because I went way too far over what I expected to be doing. I expected to end the stream at like 1:30, by the way. And I got this 6.7 at 1:32. Okay. Wait, no, that clock is way wrong. This clock is an hour and 49-ish minutes ahead. No. 11 hours behind. Why is... I need to fix my clock. More Kinses at the very least? I can send them. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah. Besides that, I'm going to end the stream there. I got a 6.7 though. That was pretty epic. R from U from R, U from R from F prime. Okay, I did something wrong. I kind of just expected them to be like the same exact aprons as with RUF finger tricks. It's definitely not right. R from U from R, U from R from F prime, R U, R from U from R from F R. Okay, so this apron. Oh! Wow, that's so much nicer. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some work with these outs that you send me. I'm going to screenshot that and then crop it to these. Okay. Alright, I'll save these to my device and I'll like drill them at work or something. I think they are Megaminx songs, lol. Oh my god! Wait, they're not the ones I use though. I use this 3-style one. Which I failed to do. Honestly, that isn't too bad. I definitely think that yours are better, though. What do you use for EPERM? For Megaminx, I just do, like, the standard EPERM out, but for OH, I do this one. I think Wong Chong Wen showed it off in, like, a meme video, but then I actually liked the alg. Yeah, I do. It's F prime U prime, and then R U prime R prime U2, R U prime R prime U, and then anti-soon in the back, and then F. Which definitely isn't the best algorithm, but it's the only one that I've. Yeah, that's best out. Okay, good. I got validation from someone who knows what they're talking about. Because like, if I were to completely revamp every single one of my last layer algorithms to be consistent, it's gonna take like a year. But at the end of the year, I'm going to be like around like the 10.5 global, like you said. But then again, also like 10.5 is what I need now in order to get like even close to top 100. I definitely want top 100 like inevitably sometime in my cubing career. I think the easiest for me at this point is low-key 5-line mean, just because so few people have it. Your pillows look fine. Oh, it seems like 3 of them. Yeah, I suppose. All right. That's enough for me. I will go eat some delicious food now because I like delicious food. Who doesn't like delicious food? You like delicious food. All right. All right. Thank you for watching with the stream. Definitely good to get those thoughts about mindsets out to people who actually like would use that help essentially. Because like I can talk mindsets to a 30-second silver all I want. They're not gonna do shit about it. They're just gonna keep on improving how they normally do. All right. Bye.